We should not get married.
It's a business partnership.
We don't have anything in common. You love horses. I don't trust them. Their shoes are permanent. Who makes that kind of a commitment to a shoe?
We were just talking about Russell Brand before, how England just got tired of his ass, put him in a crate and sent him over here. Yeah. Now somebody catch this motherfucker and send him back, because I'm getting tired of this dude, man.
Yeah, seriously, when Australia did it with Yahoo Serious, we were like, no, thank you. We just wanted him right back. Well, but I don't know, maybe they waited till we got stupider or something.
Those guys are no emo Phillips.
Yeah, maybe they dressed him up like almost like a Trojan horse. Like, hey, we're giving you some of our best. Here's some blankets with a little bit of smallpox to give them flavor.
It's always weird how that happens, because the first thing you always see them in is like an MTV European award show, to where they broadcast it here, and I think that's the biggest warning, to let you know this is what we have in store for you, so don't worry about it. You know,
well, we should all start pretending we love Dane Cook and go, no, come on, seriously, we should totally do a TV show or something with them.
Yeah, let's tranquilize him and Russell Brand and put them in the same box. Send them over
send
there.
them off, then turn off all the lights and just hide.
You know what?
It makes me
Chris
go.
Tucker. I mean, he was sold to Jackie Chan. He's like, this guy is one of the top comedians in the U.S. You want to work with him? He's like, all right, I'll stick him in my movie. And went into Rush Hour 2. He was like, wait, you mean people don't know who he is?
It's a shame when you're sitting in the theater looking at the screen going, wow, I really do miss Carrot Top.
Really? Come on now.
Actually, I think that's what happened.
Have I gone too far?
The rest of the world is like, okay, you gave us Carrot Top. We'll trade you this son of a bitch right here.
It's the first time you see Russell Brand, you're like, he's all right. And then the second time you see him, he's like, he's doing the same fucking thing. And then the third time, you're like, okay, I'm going to go kill myself.
Yeah, he's doing it more and more, and nobody's writing anything for him.
No, I just feel like nuking the rest of the world based on Russell Brand, Yahoo Serious, and Yakov Smirnoff.
You don't need to. Russell Brand is the nuclear bomb.
Dude, you know, in Russia, they get rid of comedians.
Yeah.
In Russia,
comedians get rid of the.
Hey, Yakov Smirnoff was funny, all right?
Crazy. Why are we doing? I'm trying to avoid this.
I learned more about Russia than I ever did from history, from the books in school.
Yeah, I have to admit, I do like Russell Brand better as a rabbit, but I know y'all saw the last part of the movie. You guys came in. You watch another movie, so you came in at the end of Arthur, where co-host and I were watching this, and I have to admit, man, he didn't really annoy me as much as I thought he did. I went through the 3 stages of Russell Brand in this movie, which is it's actually kind of any stage you go through with anybody that's a drunk, because Russell Brand in this movie, he plays, this is based on the 1981 movie Arthur.
Yeah,
that had Dudley Moore.
with Dudley Moore.
Yeah,
and Liza Minnelli. Very much a classic.
And you look at this and you can tell by the previews and the trailer, this ain't going to be a classic.
Yeah. No, it looks like bullshit. It looks like shit. It's the first time where I really looked at it at the TV, going, "Wow, they're really gonna fuck up Arthur." Do they? I mean, I'm not even like, I love Arthur because you were forced to watch that. Like when I was a little fucking robot, you were forced to watch that by HBO, because I think that was like one of the only 6 shows that they had on their network. And the thing is, you grew to love it. I mean, it was about an alcoholic. That was fucking up. That was so rich, didn't have anything else to do but to drink and fuck up.
A lovable alcoholic.
Yeah, he was.
You know what? That is the key, because Dudley Moore, he was so lovable. It's like, as a kid watching it, you didn't really understand the consequences of an alcoholic. No. He was a fun guy who wanted to have fun, and you laugh at him.
With him and his old buddy who was played by
Sir John Gielgud.
Sir John Gielgud. Yeah, my favorite line in there is like, "Oh, perhaps you'd like me to come in there and wash your dick, you little shit."
Yeah, that's like a black dude. That sounds like no British guy.
That's how he sounded.
The honest reason
the media.
Unlike other remakes, this one seemed odd to do because the character of Arthur was one Dudley Moore had developed for years before there was actually a movie based around him. I mean, it was a unique comedy character that he had designed and built. So it's not the sort of thing you should do a remake of. That's so uniquely a Dudley Moore thing.
Guys, if we're going to jump on the whole, they shouldn't make a remake of this. We'll never get
this would be a perfect world, which it is not. But I do agree with you, because unlike most remakes, I mean, you look at this, and I hear what you're saying. Like, Dudley Moore created this character. On the other hand, with Russell Brand, they're looking at Russell Brand, they're like, he's British. What can we base a remake on with him? Oh, Dudley Moore was British. Arthur, why not?
You know what? I think you nailed it. I mean, it's like Russell Brand right now he's a brand. He's somebody. He's a commodity that's over here.
I'm thinking like more like brand, like the brand that you even make shit with.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, the Hollywood machine has him. It's like, okay, we got this quirky British guy. It's something new. What can we stick him in to try to sell him to the public?
He's incredibly limited in range, but the girls seem to think he's attractive. So how long can we keep? How many things can we stick him in before the American public goes, hey?
And it makes so much sense that you get pissed off because, I mean, you could have guessed it. You know, if somebody gave you a list of movies and Arthur was on that, you're like, which one would be better suited for this guy to do? You'd go, fuck, Arthur, I guess. God damn it. God damn it. Don't tell me you're going to make that movie, please. I mean, shit.
It is true.
It'd be Sherlock Holmes, James Bond, Arthur.
I was like, that is not, honestly, that is not a movie anybody is really looking for, and it's not a movie that you constantly see, like, being reran on TV at all.
Right.
I mean, but yeah, watching this, though, I mean, it is one of those things where I was expected to be complete and utter shit. I mean, I honestly dreaded this for the last 2 days. I even had people who I would tell I have to go see this on Tuesday were like, holy fuck, dude, they could never pay me enough to go see that shit. Man, your job really is hard. And I was like, yeah, it is.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Man, co-host, you must feel like a whore. That's what you're acting like.
Yes,
a goddamn
I do.
whore.
Oh, I feel worse. I would, but I get fucked more than a whore.
This was,
And don't get paid as much.
I know, right?
I thought this was going to be his Vietnam.
But you know, the thing about having really low expectations after all these years that you walk into something and while it might not be great, you know, at least it's not as bad as you thought it would be. And yeah, you look at this and it's like, hell, you know, Russell Brand probably would be the perfect guy. If they're going to do a remake, he would be the guy to do this with because he is, you know, in life. I mean, this is a guy that you either hate him because he's annoying or you hate him because he's a guy that gets laid all the time, can brag about it, and get paid for it.
Well,
you know, that's his whole stage. Coming in and he's talking about
he
sexual
spent most
prowess.
of life being a drug addict and a ne'er-do-well, and just kind of fell into all this fame and riches and marrying Katy Perry. And talent-wise, it's just not a whole lot there. It's just, I mean, it's not like I look at life, go like, wow, you are really unfair. I'm like, hey, man, things don't, you know, there is no fairness in life. But don't inflict them on me.
He's the Paris Hilton of rock stars, right? Because he's totally playing all the side effects of being a rock star for a living. That's all he does is play that guy who's fucking drugged out and he's kind of an idiot and you know, he sleeps with lots of women and you go, well, you don't have any discernible talent. Why do you get to be this way?
Yeah, he's one of the guys I have to constantly Wikipedia because I'm just like, how did this guy get to where he is? I mean, really? Yeah. I mean, just because it's not because of the movies. I don't ever hear anybody running out to me going, didn't you see that last fucking Russell Brand movie? Wasn't he fucking amazing in it? Wasn't he funny as shit? No. I never hear that. So I'm like, okay, this is the studio really pushing this guy. This guy has an amazing agent.
Yeah,
you know,
really does.
If they'd said, okay, it's a remake of Arthur with Eddie Izzard, I'd have been excited.
That would have been great
because he's a talented comedian.
He's a little too old to play that part.
No, well,
yeah, but he's
really.
Yeah, well, Dudley Moore was
Dudley
pretty
Moore
old
looked pretty old when he was
yeah. Think about
Well,
it.
I guess it makes sense because this movie, well, you know, in all cases, it's like about a guy who's a playboy and just so rich. I mean,
Annoying rich.
The kind of rich where it makes you retarded. Not even social retarded. It stimulates your growth mentally. I mean, this guy has almost $1 billion at his disposal to go out and buy a Batmobile, buy a Batman suit, and run from the cops.
Okay, now I gotta admit, if I had $1 billion,
I was about to say that would be you, Leon.
That would be
But I tell you
first
what,
thing I would do.
But
line behind me.
But hopefully you guys have better taste than to pick the Batmobile from Batman Forever.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
please. I mean,
You would get the
come on.
classic
I like that
Adam
one.
West one.
Yeah.
You guys would be dead, man, because you guys would think like, oh, I'm like Bruce Wayne. I can go out and buy everything to be a superhero. We read about you in the papers the next day being shot dead somewhere because you were too rich. You were too stupid because you were rich.
I would get a pipe wrench too.
Again, you would be killed in an hour. So this guy, he has no sense of responsibility at all until he's told by his mother, look, you have to marry this heiress here because it's going to help our corporation. You know, it's going to help investors have more faith in us and keep you from fucking up and making a bad image for us. And if you don't, well, I'm going to revoke everything from you. You're not going to have any more money. You're just going to be broke. And of course, he's thinking like, "Well, shit, you know.
Yeah.
But what am I more addicted to? You know, ass or money? You know, can't get ass without no money.
No
so
shit.
I guess
Yeah.
I'm stuck getting married to this chick.
You got a guy who's always gotten
He's a
everything he
fucked
ever
up deal.
wanted whenever he wanted it, and he does not want to get married.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's either that or the money, and so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'd get married and just fool around.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me break up my violin because he's like, well, I don't want to be rich because I got to marry Jennifer Garner. You know what, dude? Fuck you.
But you know something? You look at Jennifer Garner in this movie. She plays Susan, the woman that he has to marry, and she's a bitch, man. I mean,
she's a nutcase.
Yeah, you can see how she could get annoying real quick, which adds just insult to injury. It's like, I'm cut off from ever have sex with anybody else again, and then the sex I am gonna have was this bitch right here. As hot as she is, I can tell this is gonna get old after a week. But
that bitch made Electra.
Yeah. He's thinking to himself though, like us. I can probably just fool around the side. I'm rich. She ain't gonna care after a while because all she wants is her money. Because she's had an affair with this guy, knows how annoying he is, and she's still like, money's more important. Right. So she's like, I'm rich, but I ain't fucking Arthur rich.
Yeah,
I need you. But he meets this other crazy chick. But it's that artsy kind of crazy chick, named Naomi. I mean, this bitch is so crazy. They don't even explain it. She's just giving tours around New York, but illegal tours. She ain't got a license. She's just going around just picking up strangers and saying, hey, look at the ceiling up here in Grand Central Station. And the police come up and like, hey, what the fuck you doing?
See, the movies will make a crazy artsy chick look like, oh, that's the prize you want. Until you actually date some crazy artsy chicks, you're like, you know what? There ain't a whole lot here. No, I'm gonna take a crazy chick with the money.
That's what you would tell Arthur. It's like, hey man, I know this is different for you because you slumming it right now, but that bitch is crazy. If it's between two crazy bitches, go with the rich one.
It would turn into a whole nother movie, which I don't have time to see right now.
Yeah, exactly. We had enough with this one right here. But anyway, he falls for her, and he finally realizes, like, of course, in this world right here, money really isn't happiness. Broke pussy is. So
that's shit only rich people say.
Yeah, exactly. So
how come I don't have this option? All I ever get is the broke pussy. All that ever comes along is the broke pussy.
It's not broke as in money. It really is broke.
It's broke every which way. It's just split in half.
It's turned sideways. It's deformed. It's got teeth in it. But
I don't know about teeth. Fuck.
It's eating a tuna fish sandwich.
It's turned into.
Like, so he's in a predicament here. He's like, wow, I really am truly in love with this girl. I have to get married to this rich woman. If I refuse to, I'm gonna lose my money. So the rest of the movie is about him having to find a way to actually live his life, possibly without the fucking riches that he has before.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Why am I having trouble with that one word? I'm so broke, I can't even say riches. I can't afford the rest of the words.
You gotta have the bitches with riches.
Bitches with riches. There you go.
Your subconscious going, Corey don't have aspirations. That's when motherfuckers get in trouble when they have aspirations.
Stop right there.
It's subconscious is Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Think about it.
By the way, that's my favorite Dr. Seuss book, Bitches with Riches.
Bitches with Riches.
Awesome book,
Yeah.
But no, listen.
Better not be snitches.
Better not be snitches.
Because they end up in
bitches with
ditches.
riches. But
Wow. Can I go to the children's section to find these books?
and I'll tell you, stop snitching.
Which apparently the love interest in this movie is writing a children's book.
Yes, she is. She it's got some sweet parts. And here's Greta Gerwig, who's she was the only thing I remember her from is that movie No Strings Attached.
And Greenberg.
Greenberg, which she was great. Yeah.
She was the only thing I liked about the movie.
She was
but
a
I
shining
liked her
point.
so much, I didn't actually regret watching the movie because, damn, she's so cool.
She's one of those actresses where you're like, okay, I want to see more of her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like she's not beautiful, and that's actually a really cool compliment because you realize like this isn't Hollywood, glamour that's making her look this way. She actually probably is a very beautiful girl.
She's a girl next door. I mean,
exactly.
I bet she would not take that as a compliment at all.
No,
she ain't here. That's what I'm saying. If I was in the room, I'd be like, "You're the most beautiful girl."
This review's gonna come out. She's gonna Google herself. It's gonna come up.
I don't know if you ever noticed, Liam, but we tend to say a lot of dumb shit around here.
Yeah, exactly. Stop this shit. How many years we been doing this?
Let me be clear here. I'm not going to kick Scarlett Johansson out of bed for you or anything, but if she's not available,
I give you a shot. What the hell?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, get between the two.
I wouldn't regret having sex with you.
I mean, you're not that smart, but I'll fuck you up.
Shit, baby, if Jennifer Garner was here, I'd take over you. But this ain't the movies. But no, she's actually really she's gorgeous.
Take what I can get.
Yeah,
Yeah, smartest thing ever came out of that girl's mouth is Leon's dick.
Where did that come from?
That's a
family show.
That's an old one.
Jesus Christ, man.
I never can tell what's going to be the thing for you guys. You're like, now that's too far.
Yeah.
Let's start with that one. Don't ever say it again.
You can't put that in a Dr. Seuss book.
You never read that one? Yeah, bitch, you can put in Dr.
Those
Seuss.
bitches with dicks.
But, looking at this movie, I have to say that this is probably the least annoying, besides Russell Brand being an animated rabbit, that I've seen him. I mean, because there's certain scenes that require him to just stop for a moment and be sincere. Now, granted, those aren't much, and they're very small in this movie, but where I normally would think that Russell Brand, I would hate him throughout the whole film. As I was saying before, Russell Brand is like being around a real drunk, because there's that moment at the beginning where you like just amazed that this guy has so much chemistry. I want to be this guy. And then after a while, it's like, well, he's getting a little out of hand, but he's still funny. I like this guy. And then at the end of the night, you just want to beat the fuck out of him.
Well, the thing is that it seemed like even watching the movie, like even like the characters, like the guy who plays the construction worker, you couldn't tell if it was really acting or if it was like their character that's supposed to act like they hated this guy because they knew he was rich. But
what is this?
But I'm saying as far as the extras that were in the movie, like there's a construction worker, and he's looking at Russell Brand the same way you're looking at, like sitting in the theater, looking at him, thinking you really annoy the fuck out of me. And
like you've been on the set with him, and that wasn't acting.
Yeah, and then it's like he walked onto a set where he has to work with his peers that really actually hate him for what he is and what he stands for in the movie business. So it kind of, in a way, sitting there, it made me go, maybe I should cut this guy a little slack right now because everyone else is giving him shit, even the people in the movie. And the thing is that, I mean, it really did, for a little while, I was like, okay, you know what? When I'm watching this, I need to, like, calm down. I need to, like, not have this hatred because it's just going to distract me from the movie. I don't want to be that guy, that dick in the theater, just, like, waiting for the movie to fuck up just so I can point it out. They fucked up again. Fuck this movie and all it's worth. But surprisingly enough, the movie did have its charm, and some of that had to do with Russell Brand. But I think what really saved this movie from being all out shitty terrible was the supporting cast. Because I mean, if you hate Russell Brand, you're gonna hate the first like 10 minutes of this film. Because
you're being generous.
Yeah, it is fucking awful where they disgrace fucking Batman. They run his name through the fucking mud only because in the beginning of the movie you see him put on the Batman suit, you see him jump in the car. Yeah, and
I'll never feel clean again.
And it's weird, and it's weird seeing Russell Brand dressed up as Batman. I mean, that's like, wow, you talk about desecration of an icon, and that was it. But as the movie went along, it almost like it all of a sudden just toned down as far as his crazy antics, his annoying voice even. And I think it only was because of the supporting cast that he had that really like that tried their best to put some heart into the story.
Well, he's got Helen Mirren in there as his, playing the John Gielgud
Yeah,
role.
she plays. Yeah, that's one of the things that I guess is like, but what makes this Arthur different is that Hobson is a woman this time. It's Helen Mirren. She plays the John Gielgud part, and
who must owe someone a lot of money with the movies she's been in lately.
But you know what? I mean, the thing is, but she's great. She's actually great in this. It's
because she's
role.
Helen Mirren.
Yeah, she really like added a human side to this story, which is the relationship, which I actually wish I would have seen more.
She's his surrogate mother because his real mother is cold. Probably just worries about her social life and her business and her money. And that's why this character in the movie, because we were saying before, like, are they overlooking the fact that the main trait of Arthur is that maybe not the main trait, but one of the biggest one is that he's an alcoholic. Right. And so you learn that this fool's mother, his real mother, drove him to drink. The only thing that's kept him probably from dying or killing himself is his surrogate mother, played by Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren, Cyrus is right. You bring her to anything. It's almost like they looked at this movie and like, Jesus, man, we need something to like actually get this some credibility. And they just went to Helen Mirren, please.
Yeah. Well, Helen Mirren and the what's her name? The Gerwig chick.
His sidekick.
Oh, you know what? He's barely in it.
Are you serious?
He's hardly in the movie.
It's almost he's in it where he's embarrassing himself because he's only in there to like be just a whipping boy for
somebody dumber than Arthur.
Yeah, just to be a slave and whipping boy for Arthur, and it's like,
and they
wow,
picked up
man,
Mexican. That's not right.
You think about that. It's like, come on, Louise, man, you don't degrade yourself and your people like this.
Yeah. But the thing is, he's barely in it, and he's
all over the trailers.
He's hardly in the movie.
Yeah, he's hardly in the movie. Yeah, there's some false advertising there, which that trailer is kind of misleading. I mean, they show you all the wacky shit, which makes you annoyed at the film, but There's hardly any of that in the film, honestly. Yeah.
So what is there in the film that makes it not as shit?
Well, the
as
relationship.
trailer
Actually,
looks?
the relationship. As soon as you get into the Hodgson relationship with Arthur, the Hobson relationship with Arthur. I mean, that's the one thing that kind of saved this movie for me, and the relationship that Arthur has with the chick, the Gerwig,
the Naomi Gerwig.
Naomi Gerwig. Yeah.
Well, from the original, those were the two main points of the original Arthur was that his relationship with Hobson, like how touching it was, and then when him and Liza Minnelli were together, she wasn't the crazy chick, she was just brassy and real, and they just had so much fun. You just enjoy watching the two of them play together. Like the idea of splitting them up so he could marry somebody was just appalling. You're like, no, he can't. He has to stay with her.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that. Even when they bring Greta Gerwig on at first, I think she's awful when they bring her on at first. When they first introduce her, I mean, her characters just seem so vapid that I thought, like, I didn't know if I didn't know if it was just the character, or if she was a bad actress. But as the movie went on, they both settled each other down.
Because I actually
Russell
liked her,
Brand and her. No, I liked her.
Well, I mean, I liked her when they introduced her. I
Did
mean,
you?
I didn't really. There wasn't anything too distracting besides, she's just a chick in New York trying to get by doing these
crazy shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazier shit you can do in New York besides, like help
jobs.
people go on a tour.
Who are you people?
I'm his nanny.
I'm not. I'm Bitterman.
Well, I have to get back to our confused family over there, so have a nice day.
Oh, hang on. Excuse me. Naomi Quinn. I'd like to see you again.
I don't date boys who have nannies.
Very wise choice. And perhaps you should know you're not the first woman who walks the streets for a living that he's taken a liking to.
Is she always with you? Okay. 917-176-2030.
Did you remember that?
I'm forgetting the car.
I'm going to get in the car now, but because I want to, not because you have told me to. Distinction.
But the thing is that their chemistry actually started to work, and you're just like, yeah, this chick, I'm falling for this chick in this movie.
No, you do.
And,
You
really
hey,
do.
That's the chick I want. I mean,
Yeah.
And there's some, and Helen Mirren manages to like get off some like just really caustic, dry lines that are really funny. Like she's kind of thinking the same thing we are about this this Greta Gerwig girl, Naomi, at first, because she's so artsy that she's playing that artsy role a little bit too hard. Yeah. She comes in wearing a polka dot dress, and Helen Mirren is like, "Did you kill Minnie Mouse before you skinned her?" And it is like, like, damn, what a bitch. But that's funny, man. But the other thing is, like, they have some other people, because Jennifer Gardner is not that good in this movie. She almost plays, Jennifer Gardner is a good actress, but in this movie she has to play.
I know in every trailer
the socialite bitch a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She's to the point where she's mugging,
It
man.
just shows a lot of slapstick in the
It is. Her role is reduced to being, just a one-note cold character.
Yeah.
And that's so.
And it
because of
really
that,
is, yeah.
She's not that great in the movie. Not saying that she can't act because we've seen her. She's just not good here. But man, let me tell you something. Nick Nolte comes in here.
Nick Nolte?
And we were like,
Yeah.
he plays he plays Jennifer Gardner's dad. And he plays that. Man, in this movie, that's what it's like, because he comes in, he plays that hard, because he plays his role just like a pissed off George, a mafia boss in a way. He's crazy. And when he comes in, you have Russell Brand, who goes through half the movie. And that's what's annoying. He's like, and then you got, when Nick Nolte comes on, he comes in, he's like, he's telling him like, oh, we're in a construction business, you gotta be careful of having a boom.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Russell Brand in this movie is playing an actor being a drunk, and Nick Nolte is actually playing a drunk.
He's a drunk. He's a drunk for real.
He is the drunk. He is the drunk.
And between the both, you're like, who's been drinking, who's been acting?
Yeah, I know. And the whole thing, I'm like, wow, I want to see this movie right here. I want to see Nick Nolte's movie called Nick Nolte. And
watching them both.
Which is far more entertaining, because when he was on the screen, I mean, he really stole the show, only because you had no idea what the fuck he was saying.
He was
and he
crazy.
was just wandering through the set like, just because something happens, that doesn't mean.
Did you notice in the movie, like, you really do wonder, like, did they give him liquor to be on level with Russell Brand? Because when he comes on the screen, his eyes are darting around, he's sweating, his skin is red, and he's angry, and he picks up. That's what
I didn't have to give him nothing.
Hasn't he always looked that way?
no, not like this.
It's fine. I'm just hydrating.
No.
I'm thirsty. Can I have some? No, this is my one. God damn it. Get that cigarette out. You want to blow us all up?
You think that the script called for him just to get in Russell Brand's face and say, "You're gonna marry my daughter or else." But he goes so crazy in the movie because there's a cutting
bandsaw. There's a bandsaw.
Bandsaw down there, and he's like, "Yeah, cut some board, cut, get bent down and cut the man." And he's like, "You're gonna marry my daughter." He's like, "No." You can see Russell Brand like, "Go, cut!" And we were just cracking up.
I know, man. I mean, just watching that scene, you're like, wow, this is like anyone who's ever met Nick Nolte in life. This is probably how he greets people by trying to cut them up in a bandsaw. Just come here, and you look at that. Look at how that thing works. Now, put your tongue on it. Put your tongue. No, I don't. It's nice meeting you. I just want an autograph. Put your fucking tongue on it.
You can see a director yelling, cutting, and getting grips and shit.
I know.
It
was a scene out of nowhere, and it was the most like beautiful scene only because you're like, wow, what a beautiful mess this is.
What's funny is that
the high point of the movie.
Should consider himself lucky because originally Gary Busey was in that part.
Seeing those two in a buddy cop film would be fucking awesome.
Oh man,
Meatloaf in that too.
You're watching that scene, and there's just so much phlegm being tossed about with all that. That you expect those two to just be vomiting on each other.
I was laughing hard. He said boo boo. He's like, hey, don't be worried about a little boo boo. I'm like, wow, this is Charles.
Cast him as Yogi Bear.
Charles Bukowski. Shit.
You know and Russell Brand, because I'm gonna get to things that bring the movie down before we end this. Because Russell Brand, like he goes between just being annoying, but there are moments where he really is charming in the movie. Like he does have some charisma. You actually see why he is where he is today when you watch this. I mean, maybe not to full effect, but you get a better understanding. I mean,
it sounds crazy, but he's sort of right.
Sort of. Come on now, make a full commitment. Don't be scared.
No, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. I know this is gonna bite me in my ass later on. Sorry, it's called insurance.
It's too late, man.
doing these reviews, it's like that old joke with the guy who's lacing up his shoes when the lion comes out of the bushes, and his buddy's like, "What are you doing, lacing up your shoes? We get the lion. You're not gonna outrun the lion." He's like, "I'll need to outrun the lion. I just need to outrun you." That's what Coast is doing. He's like, "I'm gonna agree with Corey, but not quite as much as Corey." So when the wave of anger hits from the fans, it'll crash down on him.
No, he's got one foot out the door in case the shit starts to fly.
I'm that one guy
that door so you can get out.
I'm that one robot that when the zombies come running after me and my friend's gonna accidentally trip somehow, and I'm gonna get away. Don't worry.
Leave me out there like that. Now, listen, for all the good things we're talking about this movie, it's still flat. I mean, there's a lot of things in this movie in the beginning, like we were talking about, Russell Brand just being not only an annoying, him being annoying, but that his character is annoying. That we don't have any supporting characters that we like coming in to say this. Even Helen Mirren isn't in it at the beginning all that much. And even when the parts of the movie start to get a little more serious and they show the better parts of the story, some of the characters and Russell Brand, all those things feel phony, man. There's even one part in here where I almost got choked up, and then they had to come in and bring in the soundtrack. They had to come in. There's so many songs in this movie where they just don't let the emotions be. They just have to come in and play a song. It feels like, I think this was directed by a guy who directed a lot of TV. Let me see. It was this guy, and I'm not going to say that this guy can't direct like a movie, like he can't escape directing TV when he directs a movie, but it's directed by a guy named David Weiner, who has directed a lot of episodes of Modern Family.
See,
even in the movie, you saw posters for Modern Family.
Oh yeah,
that's sad. And there are a lot of things. The emotion in this movie is handled like they have 30 minutes to finish this whole thing.
You're right about that. Yeah.
I mean, Sorry It's Not came in on the very tail end, so we can't even give any kind of critique. But it
stinks.
But it did have that TV feel, like the way it was wrapping up the end so quickly. Like
it did.
Oh, we've been on too long. Okay, 10 minutes. We're gonna resolve everything that's gone on for the last hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. It did, because as much as I enjoyed like seeing these characters interact with each other, it's like when they were getting to like some genuine moments where you were feeling kind of choked up about some of the situations they were getting into, just because they were like characters that you could identify with, and that they were giving some reason for these relationships to happen on screen, but they go through it so quickly sometimes, though, where you're like, okay, this could build up to like a really good scene later on, and it's like they kind of like skim over it.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest problem with the film, because as soon as they got something to where, okay, I'm interested, I like these characters, they were kind of just like, all right, we gave you the gist of that, so let's move on. Let's throw in another funny joke that's not funny.
It was frustrating.
Yeah.
It was either they brought in a joke or they brought in like the music, and they had, they really. I know these kind of movies. It's not an art film. It's not a serious drama. A lot of times they really want to force the emotion on you, but not this fucking hard.
Did it fall back on New York cameos as well? You're like, oh, look, it's a celebrity.
No, that kind of fell on every pop culture automobile.
I was about
as far
to
as
say.
movie, there's a lot of like movie automobiles. Like you see the DeLorean, the Batmobile. I mean,
Mystery
Well, this is
General Lee. Yeah,
the most annoying thing about this, really, out of everything we said, is that Warner Brothers uses their licensed properties. They're using their studio and their licensed properties to just trump all that stuff out in front of you. Like, it's like, what are y'all fucking trying to hawk here? I mean,
everything. It's branding the movie.
Man, they bring out the Batmobile at the beginning, the Batman logo, the Batman suit. Arthur has a theater where he shows Looney Tunes cartoons all day long.
Jesus
the DeLorean
Christ.
is out there. The General Lee.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
Jesus, man, we get it. You made this shit, okay? Unless you got a DVD collection coming out of some on Blu-ray. I don't need to see this.
They even throw in shit that they didn't make, like the Darth Vader helmet, which they do a whole segment on, like a little comedy skit for like a few minutes. But they're advertising this Darth Vader toy, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I get it.
But, doesn't it belong to Fox? What are you doing?
The only thing that they didn't put in here, which was surprising, they didn't put where do you go between the moon?
No, you know what? No, they did.
Oh, they did.
They cleverly snuck it in there.
I didn't hear that. That Christopher Cross song, but I heard a song that sounded very similar
at the
toward
end?
the end. Yeah, at the end.
They blatantly ripped off. They didn't have to. They had the song, but they ripped themselves off just so they could.
They
sell
did like
a
a
new
music.
song.
They did like a, what do they call it? Like a Muzak version, like the shit you hear in the elevator. They did a version of
like
that.
The one guy who's probably excited about an Arthur remake.
Yeah.
He didn't even get to sing the song.
The one
Like, nope.
I wasn't, because I'm like, every time I even say Arthur, all I think about is that fucking song. Like it's like beating on my head. New York City.
Yes, everybody.
That's the only lyric I know. New York City.
It sounds crazy, but it's true. I'll turn into Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald doesn't back him up on that song.
Such a long way to go. You know what, man? Really, out of all that, and this is funny because I was floating between. It never left rental in that area. It was floated between high rental, low rental. So between the two, it's a fairly positive rental for this.
Yeah. So as far as like the movie not turning into other shit, I was hoping it to be, because honestly, I was like, wow, the worse this movie is, the better the review. And unfortunately, it was only I didn't even get anything to really attack besides Russell Brand, which we could do that all. We could have a whole nother podcast and do that for 3 hours.
But like Russell Brand, that's getting old.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right.
Talk about Warner Brothers branding. He comes out in every movie like Phineas T. Frog. Like, wow, look at that crazy fun guy.
But I mean, it's a rental, and it's a rental only because of that supporting cast. I mean, if they weren't there, those lines would have been delivered horribly, and it would have been generic and awful, and just another stupid remake that nobody wanted. So,
it is. It's just pointless, really.
Yeah, no, it is.
I mean, I didn't feel like I totally wasted my. Yeah, I did anyway, but I didn't want to kill myself when I left out of this.
Are there a lot of movies you feel that way about? That's your high rating.
It's amazing that I'm still alive.
I survived Arthur. Buy the T-shirt.
I didn't douse myself in gasoline and light a match.
Oh no, wait, I did. And all I got was these stupid T-shirts.
He's weak. He's stronger than you think.
You used to say, Arthur, you can do anything under the sun. I never spoke like that. It was a bit like that.
Do you like it?
I'm a bad kitty. Susan, stop it!
My bed is made of magnets.
Get me out of here!
At least something in this room is attracted to you.
Fisherman? Why are you shaving?
Because Robin doesn't have a beard.
I can see your tummy.